If you want the latest in weather conditions, be sure to tune in to our Busy Bee Plumbing Weather Report each weekday on Mornings on Main Street. Brought to you, of course, by Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating and Air Conditioning. We will keep you updated on the latest conditions outside, like severe weather, heat, snow, rain, and even hail.
From the Tennessee Valley Weather Channel, this is your weather on Main Street.
Good Friday morning, Taylor Plott here in the Tennessee Valley Weather Center with a check on your forecast. Starting off for Friday morning with a lot of cloud cover around, maybe even a few spotty showers or storms during your morning hours, as you see here moving on through. Continue with that chance for showers and storms throughout your afternoon and into the evening hours. Temperatures generally staying in the 80s this evening. Finally, we start to dry out the late evening on your Friday, going into your Saturday morning. Looking at a little bit more cloud cover around for your Saturday, and then we do it all over again with those showers and storms. 7-day forecast looks like this. Widespread showers and storms anticipated Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and still kind of hanging on with those chances for showers and storms even into Wednesday and Thursday, with temperatures generally in the upper 80s.
Hope is what is spelled out on this mural on the side of this building on Charlotte Avenue in Nashville. Well, we head inside of this brick building. It is the American Cancer Society's Hope Lodge. We're going to learn about the work done inside and the comfort away from home that is offered to cancer patients and their caregivers. Stick with us. First this morning, let's get a check of our headlines. Woman Shelby Bradshaw of Greenbrier will appear in Robertson County General Sessions Court July 1st on a child abuse neglect charge. She's accused of leaving her 2-year-old child alone for over 9 hours. According to Greenbrier police, during a scheduled check by a maintenance crew at an apartment complex, that is when the workers found the child alone in the apartment and notified local authorities. TriStar Summit Medical Center, part of HCA Healthcare, plans to build an $18 million freestanding emergency department in Lebanon at the intersection of Willard Hagen Drive and South Hartman Drive. The facility will be open 24/7 and will include 11 treatment rooms, including 1 trauma room, a laboratory, and imaging services. There is a concern that too much technology is taking the hunt out of hunting, and some are pushing toward restrictions. A hunting association in Idaho is lobbying for legislation that would prohibit the use of drones and cellular trail cams to locate or follow deer during hunts. It could set a precedent for states, including Tennessee. Now, some states already, including Tennessee, allows drones to be used to locate downed or wounded deer, but otherwise prohibit them for use by hunters. On the flip side, it is illegal for anti-hunters to use drones or other devices to frighten away game or otherwise interfere with lawful hunts. For these stories and many others from our Middle Tennessee communities, head over to mainstreetmediatn.com. We'll be right back.
Deep in a forest at Nashville Zoo, new creatures here for you to view. Phantoms graced in black and white swing high in trees of dappled light. In rocky crags, tall and steep, small antelopes with nimble feet. A wise old man with beard of white, a sentry perched on stony height. Amidst it all, a hunter lies, with coat of gold and steely eyes. A new adventure just for you. Leopard Forest at Nashville Zoo. Open now.
There's a line that links us all. Most of the time, we don't even think about it. But it's everywhere. Illuminating our neighborhoods, empowering our businesses, and helping us to recharge. Whether it comes from our grids, the sun, or a kind heart, we believe in the power of good energy. And as your family and region continue to grow, you can trust that we'll always be there for you. Middle Tennessee Electric, bringing good energy.
Busy bee, yeah, busy bee. If you need
Hold on, y'all, hold on. I need to make a call. Hey, this is Brianna with Busy Bee. I'm giving you a call to let you know your technician is on his way.
333.
Guys, not yet. Not yet.
Busy bee, oh,
Now I'm
busy
ready,
bee.
guys.
Call 775-7833.
The American Cancer Society's Hope Lodge here in Nashville. And as I mentioned, it is very special. It is a place for cancer patients and caregivers to go. We're sitting down and talking with Jamie Bailey today. She is the assistant manager here at the Hope Lodge.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
What don't people know about this building?
That this is probably one of the most special places in Tennessee, honestly, and that we just try to be a beacon of light for those that's going through a really tough journey.
What do you offer here?
So we offer lodging for those who are going through inpatient treatment, who stay 40 miles out from their treatment hospital, who otherwise would not be able to get treatment if not for this resource.
And this Hope Lodge is one of 32 lodges throughout the United States?
Correct, yes. And then we are one of 2 in Tennessee.
One of only 2 in Tennessee?
Yes.
What do you hear from those that come in that stay here?
Oh my gosh, that they probably wouldn't be able to get their treatment if not for us. That we've connected them with so many people that just know what they're going through, know their journey, know how it feels to be at this obstacle in the road that otherwise just horrible thing.
And it's not just rooms, like it really is. I mean, you walk in and you feel the comfort, like between the colors that you have. I mean, you have a kitchen. What else does this place, this building offer? Because again, it's just not room and board.
It is not just room and board. So first thing first, we have a wonderful staff. And then we also have a gym. We have community spaces where they can go and they can lounge or their family can come and visit. We have a patio space. They can go out, soak up some sun. And then we also have a library because there are caregivers who are still going through work, so they can go and they have that space to get through work, read a book. And then we also have a reflection space that people can just come and like sit with their thoughts, sit with their day and the heaviness of going on.
What have you learned in your time since being here about cancer patients and their caregivers?
The number one thing is that joy comes from anywhere. That's probably the biggest lesson that I had. Like, there's no such thing as a bad day. And also, sometimes bad things happen, but bad things don't last. That's probably the biggest lesson that I've learned. And how family is not always blood. It's probably community as well. Yeah, it's probably the 3 biggest things I've learned.
You accept volunteers, so they not only work with caregivers and the cancer patients that come in here, but volunteers are able to come in and work with the Hope Lodge here in Nashville. How does that process work? Because you mentioned before we started doing the interview, talking about a sensitivity training. What do people learn? Because I think sometimes we may think, oh, it's common sense. We know what to say, we know what not to say. But is that always the case?
No, because sometimes you're sitting and you're having a conversation with someone and they're like, yeah, I'm doing radiation training. And you're like, oh, okay, well, for what? And sometimes you don't realize that they don't want to talk about that. Like, let's talk about the weather. Let's talk about the dogs. Let's part. Do you have any animals at home? But then also some people ask, a little too much into it, like, well, something as simple as like, how do you feel? How was your day? Well, I just sat in chemo for 4 hours and then I had to go upstairs to radiation for 2 hours and I'm worn out and my arms hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, or telling someone, oh, have a good day. You know what I'm saying? Even though they're going to sit in a chair with an IV hooked up them for 6 hours type of thing. So it's just being aware of what you say and how you say it, honestly.
Being mindful.
Yes, very mindful. Yeah, because it's, even though you would not think, like, if I ask you, oh, how was your day? You might be appreciative because it's like, oh, someone cares that I was in traffic for 3 hours, you know. But they don't want to talk about it, you know. So it's very much like being aware of what you say, how you say it, and then just reading the room, honestly.
Some people can work on that. For those who would like to come in and volunteer, how do they do that? Do they just reach out to say, hey, I would like to do this, or I'd like to provide meals? Groups can do that?
Yes, so if you're looking to provide a meal, they can just call us and let us know, like, hey, I'm with this company, or me and my family or me and my friends want to come and do a meal, and we can look at the calendar. But if they're trying to do become a recurring volunteer, at that point we do have a website, volunteercommunity.cancer.org, that they can actually go on, and they'll have to sign up and go through onboarding and things like that, which usually takes about a week. And then they come in for a tour, we set up a schedule, and then they literally start the next day.
I love it. How can we help you all do the work that you do here at the Hope Lodge?
Oh my gosh, we love a volunteer. There's never not anything to do here, but also just acknowledgement to that this is a place where people are going through a very hard journey, and for people to just come in, show face, a smile, you know, like a nice conversation, have a conversation over a coffee, anything, honestly. Anything, honestly. It's the small things are what actually makes people day here.
And a little bit of a donation dollars, that goes a long way. How do you raise funds?
Oh my gosh, there's so many different ways. So we have a Relay for Life. We have strides. We have a gala at the end of each year. But you can also simply just send a check or funds directly to the Hope Lodge in Nashville.
Is there anything in the future? I know you all are working on renovations now here at the Hope Lodge. Is there anything else happening here in the future?
Yes, so ACS has introduced a new program called Empower, and at that point it is to bring in or emphasize holistic healing, and that is not only for the guests who actually lodge in the Hope Lodge, but also all of our local community who are going through cancer, who has went through cancer, who are in remission, and or who just support cancer patients. All of that can be found on our social media, or you can just call and any staff member can explain and kind of give you the whole 411 on it.
Fantastic. Do you also, I know you said social media, what about, is it on your website too?
The Empower is not on our website because everything is very specific to the Hope Lodge.
Okay.
There are like events and things like that. So we have someone who comes and does Reiki once a month. We have a nutritionist come in. We have like yoga and things like that that's going on. So it's very specific to our Hope Lodge.
Got it.
So that's why it's just on our social media.
And what is your social media so we make sure we find the right one?
So Hope Lodge Nashville on all social media.
Fantastic. Jamie Bailey, thank you so very much for your time, for sharing the Hope Lodge with all of us. Now for a tour of the Hope Lodge, a home away from home. So when people come in, what is that initial feeling you want them to have when they come into the building?
Honestly, just calm and welcomeness. Letting them know that even though that this is a place to start a very hard journey, this is also a place of relaxation, calmness, and I hope they feel welcomed.
Because this is the first thing they see, and that is, of course, the front desk.
Yes, and our lovely staff, smiling faces as well, but yes, something very calming, like that is literally the blueprint to the Hope Lodge. Very calm and serene.
What else can people experience here? You have a kitchen?
Yes, we do.
You want to show us that? That'd be great.
So each nook is a floor, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's why it's very spacious. And we can house up to 84 people. Okay. So we try to make sure there's enough space just in case we are at 100% capacity. The point is that everyone could be in the kitchen at one time. All right, this is our community space that also doubles as a dining room. So the way things work, each floor gets their own quote unquote kitchen. So each guest gets a cabinet space. Each guest gets refrigerator space.
Okay.
And then each guest also gets a freezer space as well.
Because we all like what we like. We have things that
Exactly.
we would want to have. The comforts of home, not at home.
And you want to make sure that they still feel like this is like their space. You know,
Yes.
it's not just like a hotel.
What room do we have here?
So this is our library, and then so this is just for our caregivers to come. Some of them are still working, some of our guests are still working, but then also just a quiet place for them to go. They're in one room together. You know, being a caregiver can get heavy, just as heavy as it is going through this. So we just try to make sure we have spaces for them to come to. And then this here is our reflection room. We talk about calmness and quietness. This is truly the picture of that. It is literally just a place where they can go and just sit with their thoughts. It is soundproof, so once the door is closed, they can't hear out, we can't hear in. And it's, like I said, literally just a place for them to just let go of the day.
Now, how many rooms do you have in this building total?
So we have 42 rooms total.
42 rooms. And how many occupied typically at one time?
We have at least about 32 occupied at all times. Exercise is a big thing, especially when they're going through chemo, just for them to like keep their body moving, their blood flowing. They love the bike, I think, because they can actually sit and watch the TV. So this is our Tenpenny room. It is one of two of our living rooms, and it's just another space for the guests to come in and sit and watch TV or do puzzles, to just try to connect with one another. But this is my favorite room because it literally screams Nashville. And then it also has the best view of downtown. But when you come up here, you feel like a family. There's so much space up here, and there's more than just one guest there that's always up here. The wives are usually up here because they can sit more of them, but then also, like I said, the view at the table is phenomenal. It was donated by the country music singer Mitchell Tenpenny. But yeah, we love it. Like I said, it screams Nashville. So like you can't help but to love it.
At Delta Dental of Tennessee, we know our success begins and ends with providing superior quality service, and that includes serving those who need it most. This year, we're celebrating 25 years of giving back to the community we call home. Delta Dental, along with our Smile 180 Foundation, supports Tennessee's dental colleges and oral health education, children's hospitals, free and reduced cost dental clinics, and other like-minded charities. Here's to the next 25 plus years of ensuring healthy smiles.
Being in Tennessee, we wanted to try to keep it as local as possible, so we have an entire section of our menu that is just dedicated to local whiskeys like Uncle Nearest, Jack Daniels, of course, George Dickel, Nelson Brothers, Greenbrier whiskey, and all of our taps are all local. From 2 o'clock until midnight, we've got food every day for you guys. A good handful of appetizers, some entrees, and a couple salads and things like that. My name is Ethan Kanata. Please come down and see us at the Pick Lobby Bar here at the Omni in Nashville.
As special as this entire building is here at the Hope Lodge, there is, to me, an extremely special portion right here. It reads, "It is my hope that this will ring often as a celebration of life and love." This is beautiful, and this is something, how often does this bell, do people ring the bell?
Oh my gosh, at least maybe about 4 times a week. And then when it is time for someone to ring the bell, all things on the first floor cease. Everyone comes around and gives that person their own personal 15 seconds. All the attention goes towards them. And it's just our finish line. It is literally the reason why people are here. You come in going through this journey, but you leave out knowing that it's over and now it starts a new chapter of your life.
You've also added a special touch to where people can take a bell with them?
Yes, so once they ring the bell here, we have these little tiny small ACS branded bells, and it's just to remind them what they went through and also what they came through.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you for the tour. This is a look at the Hope Lodge in Nashville, the American Cancer Society Hope Lodge here in your hometown. Jamie, thank you so very much for your time. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.